Start clapping right now for the very funny Joe Dosch, everybody!
Thank you so much, everybody. Give it up here one more time for your host, if you would, please. Yeah. He's got quite a look, doesn't he? Yeah, it looks like a reformed juggalo. It's really buckled down past the postal exam. Yeah. Are you guys excited to see Jeff Ross? You should be. You should be. All right. I'm going to tell you why I never believed the Jussie Smollett story. Didn't buy it right out of the gate. And of course, I'm a gay man, so I'm allowed to not buy it right out of the gate. If you didn't buy it, you're a terrible human being, and I'll have to make your peace with that. Two details on that whole story that seemed a little to me. First of all, he claimed that the attackers went up to him and said, "Aren't you that black faggot from Empire? Aren't you that black faggot from Empire?" Like, I've never heard of a hate crime where they announce the victim's credits. That seemed a little fishy, right? It's like, look, if you're an agent or manager and you're planning your client's hate crime, that's a tell right there. It's like they dialed it back from promoting him even more, It's like they wanted him to say, "Aren't you that black faggot from Empire? Aren't you that Juilliard-educated black faggot who can play anywhere from ages 18 to 35? Like, it was... seemed a little screwy. Second detail that I thought was a little was the noose, right? Because he claimed that the guys beat him up, dumped bleach on his head, and they just put a noose around his neck. Like they didn't hang him with it; they just put a noose on it. Like, why? For decoration? Like, right? It was a real gay man's idea of a hate crime. Do you understand? He just. It's like Jussie was in his room before going, "Okay, so they're gonna beat me up and they're gonna dump bleach on my head and then they're gonna put a noose around my neck. It's gonna be a whole, like, antebellum thing." Like, wait, this guy's... Bro, straight guys don't do things for decoration. Like, look, dude, look at you. Like, there's not a thing on your person that's not strictly functional, is it? Like maybe you own a pair of flip-flops with like a bottle opener in the bottom, but that's as fancy as you guys get. Do your homework, Jussie. I'm not from California originally. I'm from South Dakota. That's where I grew up. Is anyone else from a place that just doesn't matter at all? Like, you raised your hand, miss. Where's that? Really? Where? Oh, okay. She said Sioux Falls. All right. I'm gonna give you guys a little politics of where I'm from. She's from a town that has a Red Lobster and an Applebee's. So people like her treat people like me like complete dog shit. Like like they're a fucking lady in a castle and I'm a fucking peasant. Scrounging among all the ox shit. "Oh, yes, we have cheesy biscuits. The rabble shan't partake of them." That's what it's like, man. I actually went back home for the first time in like 5 years, and I was talking to people, and everyone around South Dakota says stuff like, "You know what? I feel like those people on the coast say all this like that they're better than us." And I'm here to tell you guys, you very much are. I don't know how else to put it. Like, when I talk to my friends who still live there, and I'm like, "Why the hell would you still live here?" Their answer is always just some variant of, "Oh, I don't value my own joy." Like, glad we got that straight. People in the Midwest, like in the middle of the country, they're terrified of cities. Like, they can't believe that people actually live in one. They're like, "Oh, Omaha, parking's a nightmare." Because they'll ask me like what I'm doing with my life, and I'll go, I'm doing stand-up comedy. I live down in L.A. They always react like, well, aren't you worried about the earthquake? Well, not as much as I am this being the rest of my life. Like, if I live in L.A., I might die in an earthquake. If I live in South Dakota, I will live in South Dakota. As I took the safe bet when you think about it. When I went back home, I saw they were running a bunch of commercials to try to get like you guys to take a South Dakota vacation. I know. It's like, well, you can take 2 flights. Go fuck yourself. No. You're gonna have a layover in Denver. Fuck you. No. But the slogan of the commercial, they actually pitched it like, come to South Dakota, see our natural splendor. And that's not the angle I would take. If I were trying to convince you all to take a South Dakota vacation, my pitch would be, come to South Dakota, be a 10 for a week. Make yourself a nice attractiveness vacation down to the Mount Rushmore state. See how good you really have it. It's like camping for the face. You think I'm being mean? I'm not, man. This is I've vetted this joke through 18 years of life. You're a very beautiful woman, but you'd fly to where I'm from. Before you get off the plane, you could marry 2 dentists. You'll crush it. Right. 2 dentists, bro. Just getting double teamed by 2 fucking mouth men. And enjoying your health insurance and your condo. That's the life. That's the life. Oh, hey, do you guys know those Ancestry.com tests you can take where you spit into the tube and then you mail it in? And they tell you your ethnicity or whatever. Do you guys think anyone's ever sent in a tube of cum? Yeah, just because they didn't read the directions. I mean, it's probably happened a lot, right? I mean, guys, people don't read directions to stuff. It's probably a whole manila envelope at Ancestry.com full of cum tubes. That they're just gonna go dump on some poor intern's desk. You guys the poor thing's getting college credit. Everyone's got to start somewhere. Clink, 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 Don't let that one roll away. It's gonna go down the vents. Get cum in the vents. Then she's just gotta call the guy up. What the hell did you do? You're supposed to spit in it. Why did you? I thought you needed cum. I don't know. I thought you needed cum. On Law and Order, when they find the guy's cum, that's how they find the bad guy. So I thought you needed cum. They should only take cum. Why do they bother with spit? Just take cum, bro. Because then you get on the commercial and be like, Ancestry.com, we'll tell you your ethnicity, and you get to cum. Pretty good deal, right? What if someone said popcorn and coming? Would be better than just popcorn, wouldn't it? You probably would buy it, but I wouldn't sit you up front. I would find that distracting. Anyway. I don't think ugly people should get to be homophobic. Right? I just don't feel like you've earned that. You know? like I was in Arizona recently. This guy comes up to me and goes, Joe, the thought of you having sex just makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah, if the feeling's mutual. Well, I'm agreeing with you, in a way, right? Like, I think if you're going to hate gay people, you have to be at least an 8. That's fair. Right? And by the way, tourists, I mean a California 8. You hear me? Utah. If you're gonna pop off, you better been rodeo queen or some shit. I don't know, come at me. This shit. You ever been to Utah, dude? It's fucking weird, right? Yeah, man, like people there are just, they're just jizzy looking. I don't know how else to put it. That's just what they look. Look, you look at people in Utah and it's like your dad should have shot half loads or something. That's not the recipe for people. By the way, that's my theory about racist people in general, is they just are made with too much cum. That's all it is. You ever see like an alt-right guy on the news? You'll look at him and be like, oh yeah, too much cum in that guy. It's fucking riling him up. It makes sense to me though. I think sperm cells are haters. You know, because like really, one of them out of millions gets to become the baby, but like the other ones, they don't congratulate it. You know, they're never like hanging out on a sock being like, he ran a good race. They don't do that. You know, and the one that does become the baby, that's like the one rapper that makes it out of the ghetto. You know, but like he doesn't give back to the sperm community. You know, you never see a baby going back to your dad's balls, like building parks and schools and shit. They don't do that. Was just visiting my sister recently. She lives in Minnesota. By the way, I don't know if any of you have been to the state of Minnesota in the last like 5 years or so, but one thing I noticed is lately a lot of Muslim people have moved to Minnesota, and guys, I can't wait until they get the accent. That shit's... That's gonna be bananas. And there's nothing about those two cultures that makes any sense at all together. But like, it's gonna happen. Give it like 20 years. You're gonna find people walking around going, oh, assalamu alaikum. Oh yeah, we got the Winnebago. We're gonna take it on the Hajj. Some wife like yelling at her husband, oh, you can't have wings during the Vikings, it's Ramadan. They're gonna get like too fat to do Muslim shit anymore. You know, they're like, I was gonna walk around the Dome of the Rock, but I got the bad knee, you know, so. Do we have any more of those sticky buns? Speaking of Muslim people, I saw something interesting recently. Do you guys know the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue? Yeah, but I don't know why they do that anymore. But they do. Like, I don't know who's out there going, girls in bikinis in print, hot dog. You know. I get that that's a big deal if you're like 14 in 1973, but like now it's just like that, dude. That's a waste of ink. You're gonna ruin your cartridges. But latest Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, for their cover model, they chose a Somali woman who did the swimsuit photo in a burqa. Right? I don't mean like one of those like beekeeper burqas from like a 2002 chain email. I mean it's like a sleek, like it looks like a wetsuit. It's kind of like it's like a slutty burqa. I'm saying, you know, it's. Right? You know, hey, look, this isn't PC, but you know, she's asking for it, going out in a burqa like that. You know, they're trying to like be inclusive and include everybody, and I think that's a good thing. But like with this, it's like, dude, people jerk off to this. How do you want people to react to this? You're gonna get like just a bunch of disgusting old men being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come all over your burqa. Like, is that what you want? Oh, I'm gonna fill a drone full of loads and spray it all over Yemen with my tax dollars. Like, what are you doing, Sports Illustrated? Jeez Louise. You guys watching the election candidates at all? Yeah. I've been watching Mayor Pete Buttigieg, fucking first gay presidential candidate ever. He is, you know what, man? I don't know if I like him, but I fucking love his husband. He's amazing. His name is Chasten Buttigieg. And his husband, Mayor Pete, he speaks 14 languages. He went to Harvard. He's a war veteran. He has 1 million accomplishments. His husband has 0 accomplishments. And he just spends all day tweeting about complete bullshit. It's just, you follow him and he's tweeting something like, do you ever finish the Taylor Swift song in your car because you had a sad day and you need to recollect? Like, you're gonna make a great first lady. Just a vapid, pretty dope. That's what we need in a first lady. Not like Michelle Obama, always whining on TV. Did you know the first lady still has to pick out the china for the White House dinners? How sexist is that? Chasten's china is gonna be fucking on point. Without a peep of complaint. You know what though, man? I've been watching Mayor Pete and his husband, and I have one problem with them, and that's that they look like one of those gay couples that don't do anal. And that's a problem for me. Look, call me old-fashioned, but I think you should be able to take dick if you're going to have your hands on the nuclear button. Like, right? Like, we live in a society of walls. They gotta be manned by men with guns, right? Guys, what if ISIS takes out President Pete's hands and he has to push the nuclear button with his asshole? But he can't because he's too skittish to do it. Like the Joint Chiefs come in and like, Mayor Pete, we gotta launch the nuclear missile. Oh, okay. I just want to cuddle. Fuck that. Not my president. It's good to be here in La Jolla, guys. It really is. Yeah, man. I go weird places, do comedy. Like I said, I was in Arizona recently. That's a straight, like I don't know what it is, but like all the men in Arizona, they look like they fucked their wives to Civil War documentaries. Like it's, like girl, it's a look. You know, I mean, I had fun and everything, but I get to my crowd and like all the men in the audience, they look like they go home at night and they're like, bend over, honey, there's a yellow rose in Texas. Hold still, Denise, I'm gonna put this Tom Clancy book over your face while we do it. Who's married here, by the way? Cool, cool. Good for you guys. I realized I want to get married. Yeah, mainly because I just became a 30-year-old gay man, and that's, you're right, that's a big deal for us, because that's like 40 in straight years, and, you know, like 55 in black years, so it's a big deal. But I have one little caveat to that whole thing, and that's that I will never get married if I don't get to be the wife. Right? Like, dude, bro, I don't want to be a husband. I'm a faggot. Am I unclear somehow? I don't want to grill and shit or whatever. Like, you know, wear like if you can't run with the big dogs T-shirt or whatever you're supposed to do. You're a husband. Gross fucking husband. By the way, if you ever see a gay couple and you ask them a question like, which one of you guys is the wife? And they respond with some shit like, neither of us is the wife because we are two men and we don't have to live our relationship by your heteronormative rules. You're speaking to the wife. Hey, You guys have been lovely. Thank you so much. I've been Joe Dosch. Have a good night.
Give it up for Joe Dosch, everybody. Let him hear it one more time. Let's get a round of applause going for the moms in the crowd too, everybody. Mother's Day is tomorrow. Show some love to the moms in the crowd.